What's up, J Fusion fans, and welcome back to another superhero time review. Now, before we continue on, I would like to remind everyone that this video is not intended for viewers under the age of 13. Now, on with the video. So, Kamen Rider 01. Well, I guess it's not gonna be a spoiler, by the way. If you've already seen it on the J Fusion page, like the previews for the episodes for today, for both the Kamen Rider 01 and Kinemator. Okay, so anyways, if you haven't seen the previous episodes yet, so I really recommend that you go watch them first. The episodes will be out later, and yeah, again, if you don't want any spoilers from the previous episodes, from last week's episodes, go watch them first. Okay, back on track. So, Kamen Rider 01. So, there are two major plot points that are basically the whole shtick of this episode. So, first, we see the destruction of Izu. So that's not gonna be a spoiler anymore because again, you've already seen the previews. So that's what's gonna happen. But how is it going to happen? That is the question. And that one is for you guys to see in today's episode. So another one is Arc Zero's debut, or rather Arc 1. I'm sorry. Now, a lot of people have been speculating that Horobi is going to be Arc 1, but there are images of uh, Horobi, I think, fighting against Arc 1. So, who is Arc 1? So, the identity of Kamen Rider Arc 1 may be a surprise to each and every one of you because it's someone who you do not expect. But when you see this episode, it will all make sense. So we're actually really rushing with the whole plot twists, given that, of course, the show has suffered significant delays due to quarantine, but it's still very well done. I guess a minor plot point for today's episode is the takeover of Zaya. So we see a new president today. And what's interesting is the actor who portrays the new Zaya president was actually the same actor who portrayed the main villain in Garo versus Road. So it's interesting to see Tomomi Maruyama return to Tokusatsu again. Well, he didn't. Well, it's not a return, but rather a quick transition actually from Garo to Kamen Rider. But what role is he going to have? Now, what's shown in this episode may be a bit of a spoiler here, but not saying too much, he does have some connection with Jin. So, what kind of connection do they have? Why do they know each other? So, that may be for future episodes to show us. So, he takes over Zaya and Guy, while he is still part of the company, he's not the CEO anymore. So that's what happened basically. So what is Guy going to do now? So what's going to happen with his character? So that one, of course, uh, let's find out in the next episodes. But what's really taken me by surprise, again, it really isn't much of a shock when you see the episode, but how this plot was done is very interesting. I'm talking about the debut of Arc Zero. By the way, Azu makes a return. So we see Izu being destroyed but we also see Azu return. And again, going back to episode 35.5, her return, Azu's return, makes a lot of sense today. So, uh, anyways, you gotta watch it for yourselves because this episode is so amazing. I'm giving it 5 out of 5. So, it's been quite a while since I gave Zero an episode a 5 out of 5 because it's good. It may feel rushed. Again, it's understandable given that there have been delays and mm, of course, we have to move it along, so there would be time for Kamen Rider Saber to make an early debut. And I think the production plan was to actually start the airing Kamen Rider Saber by September of 2020. So the production team uh, couldn't couldn't make any any more adjustments. Uh, we are also gonna have to wait until the movie actually comes out. So there's also that issue. But again, it may be rushed, but we're rushing along like bam, 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 new new plot twist, or something like that. But we really have to get this story to its conclusion before we have to begin Saber. So speaking of Kamen Rider Saber, by the way, today's episode shows the first trailer for Kamen Rider Saber. So we already have some sort of a preview. So we're already being introduced to the new show, which is of course coming soon. So you also have to watch out for Kamen Rider Saber. So I'm already excited. Now, moving on to Kinemator. So again, this isn't much of a spoiler anymore, but rather spoilers if you haven't seen the previous episode. So again, if you haven't caught up on Kinemator yet, you need to watch the previous episode first before uh, going on with today's review because you might get spoiled a lot here. So what basically happened is Takamichi turns into Dark Kirame Silver today. And how does that happen? Now, again, there is a connection from last week's episode. So, going back to last week's episode, Takamichi had a one-on-one battle against Garza, and Garza was able to inflict some sort of damage to Takamichi that did not have an immediate effect. So that effect comes out today. And it does have to do with the Monstone that was trapped inside Takamichi and therefore turning him into Dark Kirame Silver. So, what's notable about Dark Kirame Silver, aside from the red eyes that show that he's evil, is the color change of his shiny Kirame changer. So, I call it Dark Kirame Changer for now. And I won't be surprised if that changer gets a release, most likely P Bandai, because again, it may be exclusive to one episode, but because there's already been a design, the model already exists. So it would make sense for that specific Kiname changer to be sold. Again, most likely this is going to be P Bandai, but I I won't blame them. It's going to be quite an exclusive collector's item if that actually happens. So, uh, also, another important plot point today. So, last week we are introduced to the Kaname stones. Now, uh, briefly explaining those stones, again, they also made a debut last week. So, they are special stones that can grant wishes. Now, last week we are introduced to the first piece of the Kaname stone, but we also see that there are actually four in total. So there are three more Kaname stones to be collected. And then today we see the power of the first Kaname stone in action. So what's it gonna be? And why, again, uh, why are they being collected? Of course, uh, as Takamichi promised the Tametomo, he had to explain why he's looking for those treasures specifically. Why is he obsessed with his treasure hunting? So it's revealed today, okay? Though it does have something to do with Mabushina. Now, what kind of thing is it specifically? That one I'm not gonna tell because that would be too much of a spoiler. So, uh, again, uh, we can see that this is more of a Takamichi focus episode, but it's a Takamichi focus episode, but it's by the end it's Juru saves the day. From based from what's happened. Again, well, it's not really the Red Ranger hogging the spotlight again. No, I don't feel that kind of vibe here. Everyone worked together in order to save Takamichi, but of course, Juru being the leader and all, has the responsibility. He took action the most, but I think it all blends very well. Uh, it still reinforces that they are still a team. They just have a leader, that's all. And of course, in any team, the leader has the most responsibilities. The leader has to do a lot of things, not necessarily everything, because really, what use is it for a team if the leader already does everything? Why would you need other people, right? But again, uh, Juru shows us why he is the leader of the Kinemator. So again, this is very plot heavy in terms of the Kaname stones, Mabushina, and all those things are related. So we are going to see more of those, and yeah, I'm actually going to give Kina Major today a 4.5 out of 5. So it's a very good episode. Uh, not not particularly great that it gets a 5 out of 5, but again, it's a very enjoyable episode for what it is. And again, I am not gonna be surprised if the Dark Kirame Changer is gonna go on sale sooner or later, especially through P Bandai. So that's basically it. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JE Fusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you on the next Superhero Time Review. Bye.